Congratulations! Your loan is conditionally approved. A SunWest loan originator is always on top of her approvals, no matter where she is. Break free with Morgan.
Welcome to The Interest. I'm Christine Stewart. Tomorrow, the Personal Consumption Expenditure Index will be released. It's one of those things the Fed watches closely to calculate inflation. And of course, the federal funds rate doesn't directly impact mortgage rates, but we've seen what's been happening over the past year. However, there is a group of people who aren't as rate sensitive as the rest of us. Our own Mike Savino gets the scoop on how to find those borrowers.
So your units may be smaller, but if you're supposed to be being paid on BIPs, it's much higher.
We're all working harder to turn out every loan, so wouldn't it be nice if some of those turn into big paydays? Well, there's a loan stream that can do that for you.
The model that I think a lot of LOs are missing out on is partnering with the either private client advisory team or wealth management team.
Private bankers and wealth managers have clients that need mortgages too, big ones. But these referral sources are very particular. They want to make sure they're working with an LO that won't ruin their own relationships.
That process is so painful for a wealth client that they will take it out on that wealth advisor.
So how do you win them over? Strathmore Group Principal Jennifer Smith says start by knowing the difference between private bankers and wealth managers. Some banks have staff that work with high net wealth clients. Wealth managers, on the other hand, manage investment portfolios. Understand that each type will advise their clients to borrow for different reasons.
These types of clients are really not as rate sensitive as the average borrower.
Second, these are not your average borrowers, so you and your team need to know how to deal with complex income sources. One bad experience can drive away a referral source forever.
If there ever is a time that you have to be perfect in what you're doing, it's with these clients.
But how do you connect with a private banker or wealth manager? Smith says to network, join local charities or groups that tend to draw these advisors and other financial industry types.
Finding ways where you can interact is going to be key to make it a little bit more organic.
Credit Suisse says that there were roughly 22 million people in 2021 earning between $1 million and $25 million. Some metros have more than others, but you can build a stream if you show your expertise.
Not for the faint of heart, but it is very lucrative.
You can learn more about working with high net wealth borrowers on The Principal, available wherever you get your podcasts. For the Mortgage News Network, I'm Mike Savino.
Thanks, Mike. There's been some good news this week. The National Association of Realtors reports that pending home sales increased for the third straight month. Pending sales grew month over month in 3 of the 4 regions. They declined in the West. NAR chief economist Lawrence Yun says it's a sign that the housing sector's contraction is coming to an end. And it might not be a one-off. NAR economists say that home sale prices have begun to ease. The Midwest and the South seem to be leading the way. And while things may have been tough over the past few months, we know there are some of you who have muscled through, and we want to recognize you. Do you know someone who has left a mark on the mortgage industry that will last for years to come? Then they just might be what we're looking for our Legends of Lending. We're seeking nominations for pros who have improved the industry or made the journey to home ownership easier. Nominees must be at least 40 years old and must have at least 15 years of experience in the industry. Honorees will be recognized in an upcoming issue of Mortgage Banker magazine. The deadline is April 7th. Just go to nmplink.com/legendsoflending to submit a nomination. After the break, the CFPB is worried mortgage companies could face their own collapse.
Tired of turndowns and wasting 25 basis points or more on slow and manual loan processing? Divorce your processor and break free with Morgan Chat AI. There are no bad deals or tough loans, only deserving families that need AI-driven fast and accurate service. We treat every client fairly and with empathy. AI that understands how you feel.
I am Morgan. I get you.
Welcome back. In the aftermath of Silicon Valley and Signature Bank failures, the CFPB is also looking closely at the mortgage industry and wondering what would happen if a large mortgage servicer went down. Director Rohit Chopra says that he's worried about non-banks that rely on short-term funding to get by. Chopra, who spoke this week at the Consumer Bankers Association in Vegas, says the disruption or failure of a mortgage servicer really gives me a nightmare. Chopra plans to work with the FHFA to make sure non-banks are able to survive. He reminded the audience that the CFPB can designate non-banks for supervision with requirements on capital and liquidity. Coming up, new census numbers show us where the moving vans are headed.
Join us at Mortgage Star, where women come together to celebrate and raise each other up while creating connections that will last a lifetime. Attend Mortgage Star in New Orleans on July 10th and stay an extra day for the Ultimate Mortgage Expo.
Welcome back. Here's what else is interesting. It looks like the Sun Belt has been a big hit with home buyers. Maricopa County in Arizona had the biggest population gain in 2022. And 6 of the top 10 fastest growing counties were all in Texas. Homebuyers have been flocking to the Sun Belt during the pandemic, and that seems to have continued through the end of last year. On the other hand, big cities like New York and Seattle also saw fewer people leaving last year. For more on these and all of today's top stories, go to mortgagenewsnetwork.com.